Hello, good morning, and for watching this video here in Washington DC. Just know that right now it's early in the morning, and if you're watching this video in the afternoon, good afternoon. If you're watching this video in the evening, good evening. It's December 19. We are actually clocking into 2026. It doesn't feel like we're going to turn 2026. It doesn't really feel that way. The hype is very, very low. That's because in the United States, we are having some kind of we just got out of the new election, right? And so it's just we are adjusting to the process of new president. Usually the same president, but with brand new changes and the new things that are happening. So then we have new developments. US has US has phases, right? And these phases happens every 10 years. So like 2001, the US had .com boom, Facebook, MySpace, Google, Apple, like explosion of technology. In 2008, US had financial crisis, right? And then they voted a black president, which all this was new things, right? And then they have terrorism attacks, right? Then in 2020 we have COVID, right? So now today we have other things. We have AI explosion, we have tariffs, we have so a lot of things happens in every single year in the United States, and we keep track of those things. So when something happens like this, it takes time to adjust to the new administration. So this video that I'm making, I am sitting at home, and it's going to be a very compared video where I'm going to be talking about the nations that were banned by the United States. Yesterday I touched on it, but I was driving, so I didn't want to like drive and read on my phone. That is not safe for me and for the drivers around me, so I need to be careful on how I do these videos. I am not an influencer. I'm not trying to influence people. I just try to showcase the community, the area, at the same time as showcasing my ideas and my views. So when I make a video like this, sitting at home, there's nothing exciting about it. Actually, I need to turn I should turn the lights on in the kitchen so that there's at least something around. But other than that, it's just gonna be me, right, like this. So that being said, let's get started today, okay? I'm on a website, okay? It's here. This is the White House website. You can actually check it out over here, okay? And I use this website. If you want to know anything that is happening in Washington DC, always check the website, okay? If you can read English, you can also use Google to translate to your own language, whatever language you speak, right? US is advanced. We have AI. We have ChatGPT is free. We have Google AI is free. If you have WhatsApp, there is WhatsApp AI is free. Do not for the news. The news is fake. And unless you follow Associated Press, and then Associated Press, you are more careful on what you read. Many US news are biased because they are getting paid by the Democratic Party. And we saw this when Trump became president. He defunded all of them. Like they were all findings were cut. That includes BBC, ABC News, like every single news channel is somehow funded by the United States. So, but the government of the US has transparency. They have a website where they will report everything. Whether it's true or not, we will never know. What we get here is what the news gets. Okay, there's nothing special about it. But when the news gets something from the White House, they twist it. They make their own way. They add their own translations. But anyways, here I am going to be sort of reading the White House. They call it the White House fact sheets. So this is why they put their facts together, so they know how to twist the things around. Because remember, many Americans, especially the Republican people, actually they cannot read. Like majority of the Republicans in the United States don't know how to read because they didn't go to school. A lot of them live in the countryside where education is limited. So they have to follow things like Fox News to explain to them. So the Fox News, even though it's a Republican channel, it still does slide in some lies in the whatever they say. They actually make it more exaggerations. So anyways, this is not making this video. I was not intended to make these videos, okay? It was not my intention. But the reason why I'm making these videos is because a friend of mine, not like a big friend, but we met a couple times, he asked me a question, a very important question. He said, is your country banned from coming to the United States? Is your country banned is your country one of the banned nations from coming to the United States? I said, I don't know. He said, what do you mean you don't know? Don't you care about your families, about your country? I said, I care about, like, my family is here, so I don't care. Like, my family lives here, right? Like mom, dad, sisters, they all live here, okay? I do have uncles and brothers, they are all living in Uganda, Tanzania, and the Congo, like all those countries. They are not planning coming here. They have zero plan. Some, they would love to come, but it's not like they are fighting to death to come here. Like those mindset is from the people who live in the Middle East and in Northern Africa and West Africa. In the East Africa, we are not constantly thinking. In fact, we had a chance to come to the United States and Australia back in 2011, and my dad refused. He's like, I'm not going to the US. I'm not going abroad. Okay, so we don't want to leave our countries. Okay, we come because we have no options, but we don't plan coming here. We're not excited to come to the United States. Okay, it's not, and that's why you can see for me, like when I come here, I go to school, I get education, I end up having a job, I need to get involved, I need to do something better. Okay, if I cannot do something better in this country, I rather leave, go back. Okay, so anyway, Donald Trump made a list of countries, not Trump administration, made a list of countries that are banned from coming to the United States. So when the guy asked me, and I told him I don't care, I made a bold claim that in East Africa we are not banned. We don't have countries that are banned. My assumption was all countries in East Africa are just like Uganda, are just like Kenya, right? But when I told him, he said, where are you from? And then I was like, oh, I'm from Uganda, but countries like Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, Kenya, and he's like, no, Burundi is banned, because he remembers Burundi is from Mauritania, so he knows Burundi, so he can remember that. And he's like, no, Burundi is banned. So when I heard Burundi is banned, I was like, what? Why would they ban Burundi, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that country, right? So I looked it up on Google and I landed. There was like a bunch of news from 2016, whatever Trump banned. So I couldn't find the recent one, and until I found the fact sheet from the White House. And I read it, and actually it's true that, in fact, not just Burundi, but there are other countries that are banned from Africa, Middle East, and South America. So I wanted to make a video about it and to go through it and understand it. Without further ado, let's do it. Remember, Donald Trump has been a very, very critical of the media, and what I say could be watched by his people, and it could be turned into the defamation lawsuits. Okay, YouTube is already sued by Trump. But let's start. This is from the White House. Okay, so I'm gonna read the whole thing and make a comment about it. Okay, so number one, let me try the phone is clear. Okay, here we go. Okay, fact sheet. President Donald J. Trump further restricts and it limits the entry of foreign nationals to protect the security of the United States. That's the headlines. And it says the White House, December 16. This was like Monday or Sunday, December 16, 2025. This one was written. So if the recent one is coming out, I will let people know. Okay, if further reads, strengthening national security through common sense restrictions based on data. Now remember, I want to make this very clear. Strengthening national security through common sense is something that also does not make sense. When somebody says common sense, that person is trying to undermine everything else. Like the word common sense in English, it means it's something that is obvious. Like, okay, I'm shooting you, I'm killing you because it's obvious. Like, I'm just doing it because it's obvious. I am, saying this because it's obvious. Like, I'm doing this because it's obvious. Like, there's no specific reason, but it's because it's obvious. So they say that their restrictions are based on data. Okay, so that's the data makes sense. But when they say common sense, like, that is a stupid thing. In fact, Donald Trump won the election just by using the word common sense a million times. And people were like, okay, it's common sense to eliminate USAID. It's common sense to defund Ukrainian war. It's common sense to defund Israel war. It's common sense to fire all the federal employees. It's common sense to cut fundings. When they did that, they realized, oh, what a minute, it's not common sense anymore. We gotta think, right? And then within a few months, Trump had to approve Ukrainian war fundings. He has to approve Israel war funding. He had to figure out how to hire more employees to handle things like veterans, mental health, right? Military fundings. Like, he realized things are getting tougher and tougher. Tariffs. Oh, it's common sense to pass tariffs and punish China, until he realized, oh shit, we need China. So now it's like cutting tariffs back again, right? So common sense is not common until it's not common anymore. So today, I'm reading here. Today, this is on December 16. Today, President Donald Trump signed a proclamation expanding and strengthening entry restrictions on nationals from countries with demonstrated, persistent, and severe deficiencies in screening. Okay, these three keywords: demonstrated, persistence, and severe. Okay, so they have constantly done little in screening, vetting, and informational sharing to protect the nation from national security and the public safety threats. These things means that, when they say screening, it means that these countries that are sending their people to the United States, they are not helping USCIS. They're not helping the CIA, right? Because USAID is part of this. By the way, USAID was never eliminated. Okay, USAID was converted to something else, and USAID was also a CIA agent. Okay, so I don't know why I'm saying this, but this should be obvious. I'm not sounding like Donald Trump, but USAID was actually a CIA agent. Okay, it's pretty simple, no question about it. So there are no information about it. So continue to say the proclamation continues the full restrictions and entry limitations of nationals from the origin 12 high-risk countries. These were origin 12. That's they are already origin 12 high-risk countries established under proclamation 10949. Okay. These countries are Afghanistan, Burma, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, I don't know how to pronounce Iran, but it's Iran, Congo, the Republic of the Congo, That's different from the Republic Democratic of Congo. I think they're different countries. I'm not sure. Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti. Yeah, so Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya. Yes, Libya is in there. Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. So among these countries, the high-risk countries, 12 high-risk countries, most of them are located in the Middle East and Northern Africa, and almost all of them, except the Republic of Congo, a lot of them have Muslim majority. So the Burma has Muslim majority. Afghanistan, of course, is a Muslim majority. And then you have also Chad is very Islam. This is Central Africa. Equatorial Guinea, I don't know which part of Equatorial Guinea is. I think Central Africa as well. Eritrea is obviously is in the north, part of East Africa. Haiti is in the Caribbean. Iran is the Middle East. Libya, Middle East. Somalia is like slash Africa slash Middle East. Somalis think they are not Africans, so that's a different story. I try to advocate for them, because they think they're not Africans, but even Trump is like attacking them. They are our people, so you gotta treat them the way they are, right? Somalians are like Somalians, Ethiopians. They think they're not Africans. They think they are, I don't know, like some random Middle Eastern. But anyway, who am I? Okay, I just read the message. Sudan. There is a South Sudan. There's also Sudan up north. This is Sudan that is mostly majority Muslims as well. And Yemen is really struggling. Like, I feel so bad for Yemen. Okay, we have many Yemenis in Africa who come to East Africa. Yemen is going through a lot, because they have Houthi militias. So it adds food restrictions. This is the second sentence. It adds food restrictions and entry limitations on 5 additional countries based on a recent analysis, and that includes Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, South Sudan, and Syria. So they added up another 5 countries. So Burkina Faso, they have Taro, the guy who is a military guy who walks around like this, and he shakes Vladimir Putin's hands, and this whatever that is, like those guys, right? Those dictators who are overthrowing the government. So that's Burkina Faso. I was banned. Mali, I think Mali is in West Africa. I think so. Niger is also part of West Africa or slash North Africa. North Africa. South Sudan, of course, is close to Uganda, so that's our brothers. South Sudan can still come to the United States if you're South Sudanese. You are part of East Africa. You are part of us. Okay, so if Trump can ban South Sudanese, you guys are free to come to Uganda and come to US through Uganda. So you guys are safe. Okay, and yes, there's other issues in South Sudan. You have Rishak Machar, whatever that guy is, and so they are like bombing each other, shooting each other. But South Sudan is going to be better. Syria, I have Damascus. I have many Syrian friends. Syrian government is corrupt, and the leader fled to Russia, and also recently they killed a U.S. agent in Syria, and they also killed his translator. So something that is shown to see as a very high risk countries. So when the US says these things, when Trump says these things, is not, yes, he's being like very anti these countries in his mind, but at the same time, these are real things. These countries are actually high risky countries. Like, I cannot go in there. Like, they're high risky. Okay, I can go to Sudan because I'm from Uganda. I have that immunity. But for the US agents, like the CIA, like USAID, if they say this country is high risk, they mean it. Okay, because we have agents getting killed in these countries when they go in there to gather the data, to investigate, to spy. The third sentence, it also adds full restrictions and the entry limitations on individuals holding Palestinian Authority issued travel documents. So if you have a document from Palestine, your document bans you from coming to the United States. You could go to countries that are supporting Palestine. So countries that are pro-Palestine, those countries include, I believe it's South Africa is pro-Palestine, and some countries in Europe, but you can now come to the United States. You could fly from Palestine to South Africa, then from South Africa fly to United States with South African passport. You could also fly from South Africa from Palestine to Egypt, or from Palestine to go to Israel if you are lucky. If they don't suspect you as a terrorist, then you can fly to the United States. Moving on, it imposes full restrictions and entry limitations on 2 countries that were previously subject to partial restrictions. Okay, so that those countries include Laos. I think Laos is in Asia, and Sierra Leone, which is in Africa, and also West Africa. I don't know, like, is Sierra Leone what's going on in Sierra Leone? This country is always silent, very silent. I don't know. And then it continues. The proclamation continues partial restrictions of nationals from 4 of 7 original high-risk countries. These were 4 of 11. So they are 7 before. Now they are 4. Okay. They are now becoming restricted. Okay, and that includes Burundi, Cuba, Togo, and Venezuela. This is why I question myself. Burundi is part of East Africa, but I don't know what exactly is going on in Burundi that makes the country get banned. I mean, they don't have wars. Burundians are very, chill people, right? They have poverty. It's the most poorest countries in Africa and probably in the world, but they are pretty okay. They are pretty good people. So I don't know why they get banned. Maybe this is from 2015. Burundi 2015 had conflict, government conflict. They are killing other people. So hopefully they will get better. And also, the leader of Burundi was in the United States recently, and I think he was speaking English. He was struggling, right? He's always struggling in his English, but they speak French and Swahili, so I don't expect them to be fluent in English. But I have many Burundian friends. They are very nice people. They are very respectable people. So I don't know why they're getting banned. I hope they get banned. Cuba, yeah, Cuba should be banned. Like that's automatically. I've got to hear Cuba, like communist, like ban them. I don't care. I cannot advocate for Cuba. No, never in my whole life I would ever advocate for Cuba. That is a big no. Togo, I don't know much about Togo, but Togo is close to Ghana. It's also in West Africa. I don't know what Togolians are going through. Again, this is because these countries are not doing enough to screen their people when these people come to the United States. Okay, so that's all they are doing. Then of course Venezuela. Venezuela is going through a lot. Venezuela has gangs, and these gangs, unlike countries in Africa, these gangs are like really bad. They do drugs. Then it continues to say, because Turkmenistan, I don't know about this country. I have no clue. Like which continent is this country? I never heard of it before. Because Turkmenistan has engaged productively with the United States and demonstrated significant progress since the previous proclamation. This new proclamation lifts the ban on its non-migrant visas while maintaining the suspension of entry to Turkmen nationals as migrants. So you can come here from Turkmenistan as a non-migrant visa, so you can go back, but you cannot just move here permanently as a migrant. Okay. It adds partial restrictions and the entry limitation is on 15 additional countries. That includes Angola, Antigua and Barbuda, Benin, right? These countries, Angola, Antigua, and Barbuda, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Dominica, Gabon, the Gambia, Malawi, Mauritania, Nigeria. Yeah, Nigeria is really on the list because of the Boko Haram. I don't know about others, but Boko Haram is like a big deal. Yeah, Boko Haram are not good. Malawi, right? I don't know what the Malawians do. Mauritania, yeah, this is my friend. When my friend asked me, he's from Mauritania. Nigeria, yes, Senegal, Tanzania. Tanzania, this is the third country in East Africa. Did I read Somalia? Yeah, there's Somalia as well. Somalia has just joined East Africa recently, but they are not yet accepted fully. Tonga, which country is Tonga? Zambia and Zimbabwe. So I have friends actually here at the university who come from these countries, and it's kind of sad to see that these countries are getting banned. The proclamation includes exemptions for lawful permanent residents. So this I misinterpreted this yesterday. So if you have a lawful permanent residents, existing visa holders, certain visa categories like athletes and diplomats and individuals whose entry serves U.S. national interests will be exempt. Okay, so you can still come to the United States. The proclamation narrows broad family-based migrant visa carve-outs that carry demonstrated fraud risks while preserving case-by-case waivers. So this is very subjective. So if there is a suspect of fraud in any family-by-family cases of people coming to the States, they'd have to investigate more further. That's what I thought to say. It's kind of vague. Then, securing our borders, this continues to say, securing our borders and interests. The restrictions and the limitations imposed by the proclamation are necessary to prevent the entry of foreign nationals about whom the United States lacks sufficient information to assess the risks they pose. Garner corporations from foreign governments enforce our immigration laws and advance other important for foreign policy, national security, and counterterrorism objectives. It is the President's duty to take action to ensure that those seeking to enter our country will not harm the American people. Before, like this, 3 years ago, I made a claim that Americans commit more crimes than the foreign nationals, but this was a very short-sighted because crime in America is much higher. And you look at the statistics, there are crimes that are committed by the American people, like shootings, those are crimes, right? Breaking into a car, those are crimes. But there are other things that Americans do, for example, like immigrants do. For example, they drink alcohol, they drink and drive, they don't follow the laws, they don't take like English tests, or they do frauds, or like there's contents. Those are the laws that they break that get shrugged under the rug. Okay, but on average, Americans commit more crime. Okay, especially mass shootings. Okay, after consulting with cabinet officials and in light of the original report pursuant to Executive Order 14161, Proclamation 10949, and the country-specific information gathered since President Trump has determined that the entry of nationals from additional countries must be restricted or limited to protect U.S. national security and public safety interests. The restrictions are country-specific in order to encourage cooperation with the subject countries in the recognition of each country's unique circumstances. So before they used to restrict specific group of people, they would say, no this person, no this person, no this person. But now they are like banning an entire country. Many of the restricted countries are suffer from widespread corruption, that is true, fraudulent, also true, or unreliable civil documents and criminal records, and non-existent birth registrations systems, systematically preventing accurate vetting. Okay, so for instance, if I like in the United States when I came here, right? I was driving, police pulled me over. I got pulled over 3 times. One time I got a ticket. If I go to Uganda right now, if I go to Uganda and Uganda goes search it up on Google, like who's James? All my data will put up. They will see when I got pulled over. They will see the police officers, his name, his address, his family, my name, my address, my family, my bank account, where you work. All information is transparency. Everything is out there. People come from Uganda or anywhere in Africa or any of these countries. The information is nowhere to be seen. If they killed 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 20 people, nobody will never know. If they've been to jail, nobody will never know. If they have mental issues, nobody will never know. So these are things that they talk about. These countries, like I mentioned this before, like my videos, there is no data in these countries. There's a lack of data, and data is the key. My friend, in nowadays, if you have data, if I don't know you, I don't know you. Like if I can see you around, but if I don't know you, if I don't know what you eat, how you live, what's your name, where you come from, where's your background, don't expect me to have you in my house. Like that's simple stuff, right? So there's lack of transparency in these countries, and I do kind of like agree with Donald Trump at some point. Before we had CIA agents like USAID would send the foreign agents to these nations, and the foreign agents will collect the data. Right? This was something that we did. We spent so much money. Trump cut those fundings. Okay, so now for those agents that come back to the US. So if we don't have any agents in these countries and we only have spies over there, the only thing this government can do is ban them. Okay, because there's no money to get the data. Okay, some nationals refuse to share passport examples or law enforcement data. What can I say? Like, if you live in Somalia, in Mogadishu, and you want to analyze the data about the crime in DC, the data is on the website. Why not do the same thing? If you want to see people who committed the crime yesterday at 2 p.m. in a random city in a town of Alexandria, Virginia, you can find it right now on the internet. If you want to know somebody who slapped his wife in Uganda in the village of, I don't know, Kawempe region, you cannot find it. There's no information. Why? Why does this country don't have information? I don't know. What are they hiding? Right? Some of these things make sense. Okay, so some nations refuse to share passport exemplar law enforcement data, while others permit citizenships by investment schemes that conceal identity and bypass vetting requirements and travel restrictions. Okay, some countries high visa overstay rates and the refusal to repatriate removable nationals demonstrated disregard for U.S. immigration laws and burden American enforcement resources. This has to do with IC agents removing people from the United States who are not documented. That's like different problem. Terrorist presence, criminal activity, and extremist activity in several listed countries result in a general lack of stability and government control. This includes Sudan, countries like Somalia, Burkina Faso, right? These nations have high terrorism groups, which causes deficiency vetting capabilities and poses direct risks to American citizens and interest to nationals from those countries are admitted to the United States. Now, this is not like true. Like if you admit somebody who is a soldier in Burkina Faso freeing the government to the United States, that person is not gonna like shoot American people or commit crimes. Nah, that's not true. But from my understanding here, if I can pause here, from my understanding is that the government is not really like restricting people from coming here. They are not actually being bad. The news says, oh, Trump is racist. They are not like trying to restrict these people. They are just saying, just give us information. Tell us who you are. When I came to the US, me and my family, we have a huge file of data kept in the government, kept in a file. We have digital and the copy. it details all our information, our grandparents, where we lived, where we were born. Like, we have all the information. Okay, most of us, a lot of us, right? Some people don't have that information. It's understandable, right? So again, this is like, if these nations how we have to put in the, I just put them from Uganda. Uganda does put more efforts with Kenya. Uganda and Kenya, they are really kind of good at it, but Uganda might also get banned because they are having these political issues as well. So we never know. It could also get banned. But for now, Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya, Congo, DRC is doing a great job. So it's going to be a great job. Making America safe again. Yeah, that's get thrown around all the time. I need a job. Come on, make it again by give me a job. President Trump is keeping his promise to restore travel restrictions on dangerous countries and secure our borders. Okay, in his first term, President Trump imposed travel restrictions that restricted entry from several countries with inadequate vetting process or that posed significant security risks. The Supreme Court upheld the travel restrictions put in place in the prior administration, ruling that it is squarely within the scope of the president's authority, and noting that it is expressly premised on legitimate purposes, namely preventing entry of nationals who cannot be adequately vetted and inducing other nations to improve their practices. In June 2025, President Trump restored the travel restrictions from his first time, incorporating an updated assessment of current global screening, venting, and security risks. Okay, this is what I made yesterday. Yesterday I did not mention why these countries were banned, but I'm gonna get a new battery. But before I go, I just want to say that if you find this video very helpful, please subscribe, share, and comment. But here I'm gonna mention the justification for full suspension, why these nations were suspended. Okay, this is very, very important. First country is Burkina Faso. According to the Department of State, terrorist organizations continue to plan and conduct terrorist activities throughout Burkina Faso. According to the fiscal year of 2024, the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, entry, exit, overstay reports, Burkina Faso had a B1/B2 visa vacation M and exchange visa J visa overstays rate of 22.95%. So those who came to the United States, 22%, almost 23% overstayed their visa from Burkina Faso. Additionally, Burkina Faso has historically refused to accept back its removal nationals. Wait, what? So they want Burkina Faso to ship nationals from the US back to Burkina Faso? Like, who does that? Bro, like, this is a poor country, okay? Like, they don't even have the resources to build their own countries, and you want them to ship the people back? Come on, like, this makes no sense. Anyway, then move on to Laos. Is Laos in Africa? I could look on Google Map, but I don't have time for that. Laos, according to the overstay report, Laos had a B1/B2 visa overstays rate of 28.34% and an FM and J visa overstay rate of 11.41%. According to the fiscal year 2023, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, entry, exit, overstay report, 2023 overstay report, Laos had a B1/B2 visa overstay rate of 34.77% and an FM and J visa overstay rate of 6.69%. Additionally, Laos has historically failed to accept back its removal nationals. Okay, like, come on, like, they keep using this all the time. No way, these countries are poor, bro. Like, that's why they're coming here. No one will come here if they are rich. You never see Norway, you never see Denmark coming in here because they are not interested to come to the United States. Okay, Mali, according to the Department of State, armed conflict between the Malian government and the armed groups is common throughout the country. Terrorist organizations operate free in certain areas of Mali. Okay, this is concerning, and yeah, you gotta Mali, you gotta work on your stuff. Okay, kick out those terrorist groups. If you need help, let us know. We have military over here. Okay, we can send them over. Niger, according to the Department of State, terrorists and their supporters are active in planning kidnapping in Niger. Wow, and may attack anywhere in the country. Wow. Stay safe in Niger, stay safe. According to the overstay report, Niger had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 13.41% and an FM and the J visa overstay rate of 16.46%. That's not too bad. I mean, Niger can stay here, I guess. They're not really overstaying that much. Another one is Sierra Leone. My camera is dying out, so if the camera dies, I'm gonna continue with another battery. Sierra Leone, according to the overstay report, Sierra Leone had a B1, B2 overstay rate of 16.48%, okay, so my camera died, and I was still on Sierra Leone. According to the overstay report, Sierra Leone had a B1, B2 visa stay rate of 16.48% and an FM and J visa overstay rate of 35.85%. According to the 2023 overstay report, Sierra Leone had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 15.43% and an NFM and a J visa overstay rate of 35.83%. Additionally, our J visa stays rate of 34%. Additionally, Sierra Leone has historically failed to accept buckets to remove all nationals. Okay, remove all nationals. That's really not an excuse. No. Okay, so if I go to Uganda right now, right, Uganda is an exception because I'm from Uganda, so I can stay over there, it's fine. But let's say I go to, I don't know, like, which country can I think of? India. If I go to India, no, India is overpopulated. But let's say I go to a country like Vietnam or Japan as an American citizen, and I overstay there. They would ask U.S. government to ship me back to the United States. They would ask me to be taken back. If I run out of money and I'm broke, they would ask to take me back. So I'd have to be shipped back to US. People come to the US on visa, on non-immigrant visa, and they overstay. It's up to their government to take them back because they are approved to come here. That's why they are trying to stay here. So I'm trying to be clear on this topic. But remember, these countries are poor, and people who come here, they're coming for the opportunities. So if they can stay, that's a deal for them, right? In my opinion, because I'm from there, so I understand. Okay. South Sudan. According to the overstay report, South Sudan had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 6.9. Okay, yeah, makes sense. 69%. And an FM and J visa overstay rate of 26.09%. Additionally, South Sudan has a historical failed to accept back. Come on, bro. Come on, Trump. Like, South Sudan, my neighbor. How do you expect these people to bring their people back? South Sudanese are very chill people, like, I guess they can stay, I give them a pass. I don't know how they live in the US. I don't know if they commit crimes. If they do commit crimes, they should go back. South Sudanese don't commit crimes. They work hard, they get jobs, they just chill people. Sometimes they want to go back. South Sudanese don't want to be here. They want to go back to their own countries. These are Dinka people. Dinka don't want to live in this country. They want to live in their own country. Okay, they're here because of the conflicts. They don't want to be here. South Sudanese are not like Nigerians who are very opportunistic. South Sudanese, they just want to live in their own country, have cows, and they do their own life. Okay, so they're not here by choice. Right? So Syria is emerging from a protracted period of civil unrest and internal strife. Yes, while the country is overworking to address its security challenge in cross coordination with the United States, Syria still lacks an adequate central authority for issuing passports or civil documents and does not have appropriate screening and vetting measures. According to the overstay report, Syria had a B1 B2 visa overstay rate of 7.09% and the FM and the J visa overstays rate of 9.34%. Yeah, like Syrians, bro, these guys are going through a lot. Okay, just like Somalis, just like Sudanese, it's really it's a lot, and they get discriminated in Iran, they get discriminated in Turkey. So Syrians are going through a lot. Okay, it's tough, but I love Damascus, and I would love to visit Damascus if that country is safer. Okay, I really love Damascus. The name sounds cool. Palestinian Authority documents. Several U.S. designed terrorist groups operated active in West Bank or Gaza Strip and have murdered American citizens. Yes, Americans have died because of the Gazan government. So you guys, yes, I'd love to see Palestinian having peace and Gaza having peace, but killing Americans, bro, when they are having their own time, like you go over there, you ambush them and you take them in, like what do they do? Like if I go to Israel and I'm visiting, I have no crew, I have no intention with, I have no idea with Jewish people, I don't know who they are. If you guys have conflict with Jewish people, deal with yourselves, okay? Leave foreigners out. If I'm visiting Israel as a visitor and you randomly kidnap me, you take me somewhere in a tunnel, you torture me, I have no clue, I have no idea, I don't know what I'm getting. I know a friend of mine who was my friend of mine from North Carolina visited Israel just to check out Israel. Okay, many of these people, and it's true, like yeah, like they see something is very problematic. Also, the current war in these areas likely resulted in compromised venting and screening abilities. In light of these factors and considering the weak or non-existent control exercised over these areas by the PA, individuals attempting to travel on PA-issued, PA stands for Palestinian Authority, that's what it means. Areas by the PA, individuals attempting to travel on Palestinian Authority or PA issued or endorsed travel documents cannot currently be properly vetted and approved for entry into the United States. Okay, but Palestinians are going through a lot. They're getting bombarded by Israel, so probably give them a chance to free that area. That area is like destroyed. Kids are dying, women are dying, men are being killed. The area is being demolished, right? So it's no good place to be. And for the people over there, for the sake of it, these people need to be given some kind of a refuge to live. Okay, that's me saying, all right. Other countries like South Sudan can come to Uganda, Burundi can go to Congo. Tanzanians, they don't want to come to the United States. Tanzanians are okay, but Palestine, not only are they being killed by the Israel, they are also discriminated, just like Syrians. They're being discriminated by their neighbor, which is strange, by Egypt. Like, what the fuck is Egypt discriminating Palestinians? I don't understand. Jordan, I don't understand. Like, these are your people, but they treat them like they're not existent. Like, we have to advocate for them. Like, we have to protest in the United States. But these people never do anything. Nothing. I don't know. So these people are going through a lot. And yes, the Palestinians and the Jews, these are two groups of people who've been through struggles for generations. No one knows what the hell is going to be the solutions. We don't know. They don't get along, and also nobody likes them. So it's really strange to me. Second report, justifications for partial suspension, immigrants and non-immigrants on B1, B2, B1 and B2 FM and the J visas. Angola. According to the overstay report, Angola had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 14.40% and an NFM and the J visa overstay rate of 21.92%. Okay. Antigua and Barbuda, these are Caribbean island. Antigua and Barbuda has historically had citizenship by investment CBR without residency. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm not gonna Okay, stay on it. Benin, those guys have magics. Jiggy, 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 jiggy. They are going to fly in magic to the United States. According to the overstay report, Benin had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 12.34% and an FM and J visa overstay rate of 36.7%. So that. Cote d'Ivoire, according to the overstay rate report, Cote d'Ivoire had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 8.47% and an NFM and J visa overstay rate of 19.09%. So Cote d'Ivoire is actually doing okay. I like Cote d'Ivoire. What's Cote d'Ivoire in English? Ivory Coast. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I keep forgetting this. Dominica has historically had a CBI without residency, so the store stops from there. So there's nothing else added on. Gabon. According to the overstay report, Gabon had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 13.72% and an FM and a J visa overstay rate of 17.77%. The Gambia, according to the overstay report, the Gambia had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 12.7% and an FM and J visa overstay rate of 38.79%. Additionally, the Gambia has historically refused to accept back its removal nationals. Malawi, according to the overstay report, Malawi had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 22.5% and an FM and J visa overstay rate of 31.99%. Mauritania, according to the overstay report, Mauritania had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 9.49%. According to the Department of States, the government of Mauritania has little presence in certain parts of the country, which creates substantial screening and vetting difficulties. So Mauritania has little presence, so they are not really present in all the countryside, all the country-wise. Now come to the most giant of Africa, Nigeria. Radical island terrorist groups such as Boko Haram. Yeah, I hate that group. Okay, one day we are going to pew them. Okay, Boko Haram, fuck them. Those guys kidnap women, rape girls, 16 years old girls. They rape them, they pregnant them. It's horrible. Boko Haram is horrible. And Nigeria has failed to destroy these Boko Haram groups. Like bro, like just wake up in the morning and like send in the military and like bomb an entire area, like kill everything, anything to breathe, kill everything. Okay, Boko Haram should not exist anywhere in West Africa. Like these guys have just like if US accept Boko Haram groups to come to the United States, I'll be concerned if US was to bring Boko Haram here. They have no place. Even in Uganda, Boko Haram are restricted. If Uganda finds out that somebody is from Boko Haram, that person is going to jail or deported the next day, straight up. Okay, so Nigeria, radical Islam terrorist groups such as Boko Haram and Islamic State operates freely in certain parts of Nigeria. This is true, which creates substantial screening and vetting difficulties. According to the overstay report, Nigeria had a B1, B2 visa overstay rate of 5.56% on an FM and J visa overstay rate of 8.9%. Okay, not too bad. Nigerians are not overstaying as much as other countries, so okay, except that they have these terrorist groups. So please, Nigeria, please don't send Boko Haram here. Okay, do not. I am afraid of Boko Haram. I don't want the shit blow up. Those guys are, if anybody who kidnaps women, like not one woman but a bunch of girls from school, that person in Nigeria is still okay with it. In Uganda, whenever there is an attack on the border of Kasese with the Congo from anti-government groups, Uganda sends the army and they destroy anything that breathes. Even gorillas are killed. No shit. Like, we don't play with that. You do not attack women anywhere in the universe. But Nigeria is okay with it, so I guess Okay, Buhari is not doing anything. What is Buhari doing? Eating giraffe or something, or dancing Wahara somewhere? Like, you guys should be destroying Boko Haram. This guy does not exist anywhere. Um, Senegal, according to the overstay report, Senegal has a B1 B2 visa overstay rate of 4.30%, and an NFM and J visa overstay rate of 13.0%. Tanzanians, I don't know, Tanzanians are really cool people. They don't like to travel overseas. Tanzanians, they don't travel. They don't like to leave their country. So I'm surprised they're in the list. According to the overstay report, Tanzania had a B1 B2 visa overstay rate of 8.30% and an FM and J visa overstay rate of 13.97%. So Tanzanians, they don't actually have that many overstays. So I'm surprised. I don't know who these people could be. Maybe these people, maybe they're from Zambia. No, they're from maybe Mozambique, Zanzibar, those Arab people from area. But the real Tanzanians, the actual Tanzanians who are not mixed, who are not Arabs, they don't overstay. The real Tanzanians, the Swahili people, the Bahaya people, the Nyambo people, they do not want to live anywhere but Tanzania. So this report, Donald Trump, please revise again. Okay, our people in East Africa, they do not like to overstay overseas. No. They always go back. So something has to be wrong here. Tonga, according to the overstay report, Tonga had a B1 B2 visa overstay rate of 6.5% and an FM and a G visa overstay rate of 14.4%. Which country is Tonga? I really don't know. Turkmenistan, since the issue and solve proclamation 10949, Turkmenistan has engaged productively with the United States and demonstrated significant progress in improving its identity and management and information sharing procedures. The suspension of entry into the United States of nationals of Turkmenistan has non-migrants on B1, B2, B1, B2 FM and J visa is lifted because some concerns remain. The entry into the United States of nationals of Turkmenistan as migrants remains suspended. Zambia. According to the overstay report, Zambia had a B1 B2 visa overstay rate of 10.72% and an FM and J visa overstay rate of 21.02%. So Zambians are more likely to stay much higher than actually Nigerians. So is Zambia having war? I mean, there's no war being reported here. So I guess Zambians are good. They are cool people. All right, Zimbabwe. According to the overstay report, Zimbabwe had a B1 B2 visa overstay rate of 7.89%. Not too bad. And an NFM and a J visa overstay rate of 15.15%. So not too bad as well. That's all I have for today. And again, if you're from these countries, I really want to apologize for whatever Trump is doing. I know some things need to be fixed, specifically things like Boko Haram, right, terrorist groups. But some countries also are not a threat, like South Sudan is actually pretty chill, right? Some countries like Somalia, for example, they had Al-Shabaab, which Uganda has beaten so many times. And it's extremely hard to fight by Al-Shabaab because Al-Shabaab is a civilian militias that their own people do not report Al-Shabaab. Like, they don't say this person is in Al-Shabaab. They don't report. They don't put in the effort to end those military groups, which is a problem. Like, you can't end wars if you don't report. Like if I know somebody who works in military groups in M23 or I don't know, like any military groups, right? I have to tell them, like, you need to stop. Like, we are very straightforward telling people, and Uganda has been very strict on whom they are allowed to come in and out from Somalia, those things. So anyway, Donald Trump made this proclamation, and I need to make this video about and mentioned about this, but just know that this is, I don't know much about B1, B2 visa or J visa. I don't know how those things works, but I'm assuming these visas are like temporary. I didn't come on B1, B2 visa. I came on a regular migration visa, and that was supposed to last for 1 year, which is enough to get work permits. But if you're visiting for like 6 months, that could be very problematic. There are also people from these countries that are, if you are from these countries and are watching this video and you are planning on coming, and now Trump stops you from coming, maybe I understand the stress. When we are coming, if you live in America, when you're coming to the United States and you have visa approved, everything approved, okay, if you're moving to stay here forever, if you're gonna stay here forever, you sell everything. Yeah, okay, you don't sell, but you give everything for free. So you give out to the neighbors. But when the visas are cancelled, rules like this are cancelled, are made, especially for people like refugees who are fleeing the country. I don't know why I have a bag in my house. I don't know if you can see the bag. Let me see. There's a bag here. Come on, dude. What are you doing? Okay. I'm not gonna kill him. I don't kill bags. I don't know how they came from. I don't know how they get in here. Like the entire house is closed, but they somehow sneak inside. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make here is that if you are coming to the United States and you're coming here for any reasons, you wanna stay, you wanna live here, go to school, get educated, get opportunities, it's understandable. It's understandable to feel to overstay. Okay, understandable to find out better ways of staying here. I understand the stress, I understand the feeling of it. But other than that, I pray that things works out. I pray that Trump changes his mind. I pray that things works out. I pray that this country changes. I pray that things works out. Other than that, that's all for today. Like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. Adios.